So today I'll be sharing my experiences writing the last year's NEET examination. Since you'll all be writing your NEET exam soon, I figured that I will give you an intake of my own experiences writing the exam. So I was a beginner. It was my first time writing the exam last year. So we got the admit card a few days back before the exam. So we looked at the admit card and we figured out the examination center. So me along with my parents, we drew to the examination center just the day before the examination, so that we know the correct routes and we figure out the correct time required to reach the examination center. So we reached there and I looked around the environment so that I'll be familiar with it on the day of the exam. So the day before the exam, I did not study that much because last minute studying isn't going to help you. So I just revised a little bit and then I slept early. So the next morning I woke up early and I had a light breakfast. One thing is that having breakfast on the day of the exam is really important, because remember to have a good breakfast, as you do not feel hungry during the exam. It can dampen your ability to write the exam well. So last year the timing of the exam was from 2 to 5 p.m. So I figured out that if I reach the examination center early, I'll be tension free and then I have a lot of time to relax. And I reached the center by 9 o'clock in the morning. So first it was the road, it was actually a school, and the road in front of the school was blocked on either sides. The cars were parked in nearby streets, and the parents along with their kids. So me along with my parents went to in front of the school in the road. There were police there and they were blocking the vehicles going through the road. So then what happened was we waited for a few minutes. Then there was an announcement that there were 2 gates. So the students are requested to stand in a queue. Were requested to stand in a queue to enter the gate. So I stood in a queue and one by one we entered the gate. First they asked, once you enter the gate, they ask you to show your admit card, and as you go inside, you'll be led to a frisking room. The girls will be led to a separate frisking room and the boys will be led to a separate room. So we had to stand at 6 feet distances between each other because it was COVID time. With me I had a passport size photo, my admit card and a sanitizer bottle. You don't need to bring pens or any kind of stationery because they'll be providing you there. So I waited in line for my turn outside the frisking room, and after that when I entered inside, I was asked to sign in 2 forms next to my name. After that they did the frisking. Mainly they had a electronic metal detector which they show it in front of your body to check if you have any electronic devices. Then they use a torch and shine up your nose, ears and your hair, so that to see whether you are hiding any devices inside. So after the frisking, I was led to a waiting hall where other students were there. So everybody, after the checking is finished, they go there and wait there. So usually so many parents, you can actually eat your lunch there. So many parents from outside, they sent the lunch to the wards in the room, and many students were eating it. So it was the last. If you wanted to go to restroom, you can go, but you can't go after that. So I was waiting there for a long time. Then after that they took us to the exam hall just like about half an hour before the exam. So we sat there and we were asked to sign on a few forms. Then correctly by 1:50, so they in a room there were 2 teachers who act as invigilators. So one of the invigilator went to the there was an examination control room in which all the question papers and along with the answer sheets were kept. So when it was time, one of our invigilators went to the room and took out the question paper for the students in our room. So she came here and she distributed it and asked us to wait for 5 minutes before opening them. And after that when it was time, she instructed us to open it and to inside the it was actually sealed from outside. So what happened was I opened the seal, and along with the question paper there was the OMR sheet inside it, and she asked us to check whether the numbers in the question paper and the OMR sheet is the same. So you have to check that, and after that they distributed a pen. So as I told you, you do not have to bring any of your stationery. Then the exam happened smoothly, but the thing is that in between exams they'll ask you to sign a lot of forms. They one time they collected the admit cards. I mean, they take only the front 2 pages of the admit card and they'll ask you to sign, they'll ask you to put your thumb impressions, and in the admit card you have a place to put your thumb impressions. You're not supposed to do it at home and bring it. There in the examination center itself, they'll give you an ink pad and you have to put your fingerprints on that. So I mean, it was a distraction actually. In between, they were coming and getting the signatures from us, and you have to put your fingerprints and all that. Then after that, by 5 o'clock, they collected the papers. We gave the OMR sheets and we took the question papers with us. Actually, it was a huge crowd outside the examination centers because all parents wanted to take their kids home. Then one thing I should mention is that when I was going to the examination center, I had a doubt whether how to solve sums which has logarithm in it. Like you have in electrochemistry sums which has logarithm. It's actually part of the formula. So one thing is that they only give sums with easy kind of logarithms. And also, if you have to find out a logarithm of any number, they already give you in the question paper. And also, I had a doubt of how for calculation spaces where I should do my calculations. So some examiners in some halls allowed the students. Because your admit card will be like 5 pages and only 2 pages you are taking, and the remaining 3 pages you will just take it home and dispose it. So some examiners allowed the students to do the calculations on the remains of the admit card, but for us in the question paper in the back you have 3 to 4 pages where you can do your calculation, but it's very small, so you have to you don't get much calculation space. And then another thing is that even during my NEET exams, I was so worried as how I was going to do it. I mean, it was an unfamiliar atmosphere for me because of the so many dress codes and experiences I've heard, like how strict they are for frisking and all that. But let me tell you, once you pass through it, it'll be so easy actually. I literally felt so happy after writing my NEET exam. It was not at all like what I had expected. I thought like I'll be forgetting all the formulas, everything that I've studied, but in the exam hall I remembered everything. As soon as I got the paper, I forgot all my tension and just focused on writing the exam only. So it will be only a matter of time. So once you get the question paper, just try to relax, take deep breaths for 10 seconds and try to focus on solving the questions as calmly as you can do. Also for as a dress code, actually no metallic devices are allowed, so I didn't wear any watches. So if you wanted to take if you wanted to drink water, they will be providing you, or else you can actually bring a plastic bottle, a transparent water bottle with you if you want. Then for the dress code, you should wear a half-sleeved kurta, or it's kurta for girls, or you can wear a t-shirt. No jeans are not allowed, and you can't wear dresses with metallic bells, metallic zips, all that. So if you are wearing any kind of religious dresses, you have to go before time itself for them to frisk you. So all the best for your NEET examinations, and I hope you all crack the exam with flying colors. Bye bye.